I think the biggest one was that it was just too big. And so there was very little room for customization of campaigns or templates. The advantage of a large entity like that, of course, is the volume, right? You get more services, but that lack of ability to customize, I think, really was a pretty significant detriment. We had been with that platform for, I think, it was probably going on 12 years at that point. And it was a small group when we started with them, and they kept getting bought up and bought up and bought up. And by the time we were at the end of the relationship, there was almost a complete lack of any sort of personal touch. The original person that we had worked with was still there, but he had transitioned into different areas and things like that. And so it made, I think, some of the communications between us and the vendor perhaps more complicated. I'm not saying I want to be a special case or anything like that, but sometimes you just need someone to hear you out and say, well, we hear you, we can do this, we can't do that, but you just want to at least have the opportunity for the conversation. That's one of the things I love about Web Scribble, is that no matter what it is I'm asking for, someone's always willing to talk to me about it. So. Aside from the fact that you almost doubled our revenue in a year, that's a pretty big problem solved. But I think that, again, it's a smaller company. There's room to talk about things. I think that Web Scribble is much more hands-on about helping the client understand sort of what's possible. Absolutely. One of the things that I really struggle with, honestly, is that we're doing so well with just the work that Web Scribble's putting in. I find the work that Web Scribble does on the platform to be highly beneficial. It's very well managed. Sales revenue's excellent. So there's always room for growth, right? But we're happy with it. The people, honestly, because technology is technology, right? Wherever you go, but I like the different people. Amanda's been great. Danielle's been super helpful, like right from the very beginning of the sales all the way through. I find people really earnestly interested in making AAIM Career Source as strong a product as it can be, and that we're not just sort of another cog in the wheel. And I think that is a really valuable experience for me and the Alliance as a whole.